There we go. Okay, so sixth session, gamification and interactivity tools for online classes. Today's focus is enhancing your online lessons with fun and effective tools. We have talked about some of the tools. You have already used most of the tools, but today's focus is to uh, start actually using them. We're going to participate in an activity where we're going to build an activity all together using one of those tools. You will choose. But just as a reminder, why gamification matters. We talked about this briefly last class, where we basically said that gamification is not just turning the class into a game. No, it's getting the best from your students by keeping them engaged in the lesson while they are learning the content that you want to teach. So it's extremely important. That's how gamification works, because you are uh, working with games. Yes, students are having fun. Yes, they are, or yes, they should. And at the same time, you are teaching whatever it is you want to teach. Is it regular verbs? Is it present perfect? Is it the dreaded passive voice or reported speech? But they are having fun while they learn. And one of the most important features that you see on screen, the memory boost. Why? Because your students will remember what they did during the game, and they can remember that activity, and at the same time they can remember the topic you were teaching them. So gamification helps your students, especially if it's an online context. Now, most of our students are competitors. They love competing, like, okay, beating the other game. Well, some of the tools we're going to work with today, or we are going to talk about today, they show like the leaderboards so they can see who goes first, who goes second. So it's like that instinct of I want to win in them. Yeah, maybe not all of them will be absolutely attracted to the game, but most of them will. And remember, it's basically impossible to have every single one of your students like focused. It's basically impossible. But the more students you can get focused on the class, the better the outcome will be. And that's the idea. That's the idea. And while they are completing these challenges, their confidence grows so that they know, oh, if I was able to do this, then I can do it in a different activity. So that's why gamification matters. And in an online context, which is the subject of this activity, the main topic of this subject, it will help a lot, and it makes the difference between being just a normal teacher and being the teacher that everybody wants to go to. Hello, Suhe. Let me write your name down. For example, because of the way that I work with my students online, yes, as you know, I work with the academy that allows me to use this Zoom, but I also have particular students. And the students I have is not because I was promoting myself, like doing advertisements. No, 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 no. By word of mouth. I worked with one student. That student was learning. That student saw the change, the progress. That student knew somebody else who wanted to learn English, talked about that friend with me, Then now I have two. Then that other friend recommended with another one, and so on. That's how you make your own name in the world of online teaching by doing your best. By doing your best. Okay. So this is a comparative tool that my best friend ChatGPT helped me create. And again, I repeat, for the other subject, that one that we will have in the afternoon, we will work with how to create the prompts for ChatGPT. For this one, I asked ChatGPT to create a comparative board with the features of Kahoot, Quizizz, and Genially to show me the comparative. And I also told it, please remember to mention about the premium features, because we have free plans, but there are some premium features that you cannot access unless you pay. But today we will decide on this. So let's take a look. I only chose these three, Kahoot, Quizizz, and Genially, because they are the ones that I absolutely love. I love Word Wall, and I always talk about Word Wall. But with Word Wall, it's kind of difficult to create a full lesson. It's difficult to create a full lesson. I believe that the best tool that you should use for the evaluation is Genially. Most of you worked with Genially when you were designing the digital escape room, and you know how cool Genially is. Now imagine that you can create a class about any topic using Genially. So if for those who haven't heard about Kahoot or are not familiar with Kahoot, it's similar to Quizizz, where you can have games, you can have different types of activities, mostly to have your students competing. So that's the gamification part. And for the free plans, you can create or play unlimited quizzes, which happens with was reduced in Quizizz. Quizzes used to be unlimited. I mean, the fact where you're creating the activities, but now Quizzes has a limit, if I'm not wrong, a limit of 20 activities that you can create with Quizzes. You can create and store. You can create more, but then you have to delete some of the previous activities you had created. With Kahoot, you can create more. Maybe the big difference between these two is the amount of participants. Of course, you will never have like 100 participants in a set. You will never, because you have like 30, 40 if you're talking about a classroom, okay? But they are amazing. Both are amazing. Now, Kahoot allows to use GIFs and images to animate the games. Also, Quizzes allows them, but long time ago, I created an activity with Quizzes. I tried to use Kahoot, but I didn't understand how to use it. We can talk about it today, Nita, don't worry. And Genially, like you can create interactive content. This is the most important thing about Genially, that your students can interact with the content. As I was with the digital escape rooms, I was killing my brain interacting with the things, getting the codes, how to advance. And if you don't have it correctly, you cannot move on. That you can do with Kahoot or Quizzes. You can do it with Genially. That's why I recommend Genially for the evaluation. If you want to use any other, it's on you. Okay. Now, great thing about Genially is the 1,000 different things that you can create with them. It's lots of stuff. About the premium features, I always say, if I had the chance, I would absolutely pay for two things. Oh, three, to be honest. Number one, Zoom. There's nothing better than Zoom Premium. There's nothing better than Zoom Premium. That's why when I was told that I was going to be in charge of new groups for the UPL, and I was advised to use the platform from the university, I always said no, because it can never be more stable or better than Zoom. It can't. Hello, Sophie, bonjour. Ma chère. Aha, ya te anoté. So, the premium features, I would pay for Zoom, I would pay for Genially, and I would absolutely pay for ChatGPT. Because sometimes it sucks when you are creating something and it says, you have reached your limit. No. Oh, I hate when that happens. I hate when that happens. Yes, I'm Team GIF regarding the pronunciation of this because the creator of a format, he said, is pronounced GIF. So,
okay, well, all right, okay. I heard that. I was, oh, Jesus, no,
yes.
what do you say? I say, okay, I
Yeah,
didn't know that,
because
actually.
because he's the creator. He created that. He created this. He created the format of these images that could move. And he said, I'm the creator, and it is pronounced GIF. So I say GIF. I know lots of people say GIF, but the creator said it's GIF. It's like, imagine that your name was not Fernando. Imagine that your name was, imagine that this was your name. It's a French name. Your parents probably say, no, his name is Antoine, because that's a pronunciation, Antoine. And there's people calling you Antoine. Ah, Antoine, ah, ha, ha, Antoine. It's not Antoine, it's Antoine. I mean, the creators, your parents, they gave you the name, the pronunciation is Antoine. So since the creator of a GIF said it's pronounced GIF, Oxford Academy, whoever, Cambridge, they can say it's not GIF. The creator said it's GIF, so I say GIF.
All right. Okay. That's a fair argument. So I will start rewiring my brain to say GIF. Like every single time I say, I will be like, hey, you know what I'm saying, but now I know.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. No, I mean, everyone can choose how to say it. I choose what the creator said.
Gotcha.
Okay. So we have gamification elements from the three sources. Kahoot and Quizizz, they both have the points system that you and the leaderboards that you see on screen while your students are working. And that's what makes them so exciting for teenagers, for children. It's a blast. It's a blast. Kahoot has time-based challenges, whereas Quizizz has the power-ups and strict bonuses. With the power-ups, they make the difference because if two students answer correctly the same question, the student who did it faster will have more points than the other one. And that's different from Kahoot. And that's amazing. And strict bonuses. Okay, it's not the same. It's not the same amount of points, sorry, that you get if you have two correct answers in a row than if you have four correct answers in a row. So that's another difference. Genially, like I mentioned, is not like to compete. Genially for interactive storytelling, gamify templates, and I forgot to share the links to the escape rooms. But if I recommend you guys to share your links, I mean to the digital escape rooms into our group, because some of them, I mean, you were extremely creative. Some games were scary. Some other games looked like the old Nintendo system. It was amazing. And that's the great thing about Genially. Today we will watch a video about this. And clickable elements. With Genially, students work on their own rhythm, whereas Quizizz and Kahoot, once you click on Start, show the question, 30 seconds to answer, next question. With Genially, student has the control. Yes, you can set a timer if you want to, but it depends on what you want to accomplish. Tell me, Jackson.
It was about the other topic that you said that everybody, if you could, they could share the link of their escape room. As well, could you please share your toolbox so that we all could
Yes,
know about
please.
other.
Thank you so much.
tools.
The links to your toolbox, guys, because some of you found apps and pages that I never seen before, and they are really amazing. So please, guys, share the links or the PDF versions if you have to your toolboxes, because some of you had like the typical activities, but some others gave the extra mile and found amazing stuff. Yeah, share them, because you will need it. You will need it. So, which one is easier to use? It depends on your abilities, it depends on your skills, it depends on what you want to do. Maybe Genially requires some learning, but you can customize it better, while Quizizz and Kahoot are intuitive. Like you start using it and you see how one thing leads to the other. Okay. Now, and as you can see, Kahoot and Quizizz, they are similar. Genially is better for interactive presentation because you can include infographics. And like I mentioned, students click and they advance, and it's amazing. If you turn something into a game, it's better. It's always better. Don't worry, Sophia, I already wrote down your name on the list. Now, which limitations do we have on the free versions? Well, for Kahoot, limited question types, fewer customization options. When it says limited question types, it's like when you're using word wall. There are like the funniest games are hidden under a paywall. Like there is like a Pac-Man game that you could create with word wall, but you need to pay. Although there are some teachers who have created Pac-Man-like games, and you can access them. I will check that in a minute, and you will see what you can do. And yeah, guys, word wall is a lifesaver if you're working with children. It's a lifesaver. Hello, William. Don't worry. Let me write down your name. William. Nice. So, core game mechanics in online teaching. As you know, especially if you guys are gamers, every game must have a mechanic, like how we use it. So it's the same principle that we should apply to online teaching. Our games need to have a mechanic, okay? So let's talk about the 3 key game mechanics to use for the activity. Points, of course, reward performance and track progress. As a teacher, you need, for a student, it's a reward. But as a teacher, it shows you how good or bad your student did in a specific part. And it's easy for you to keep track of what you are evaluating, okay? Now, how do you use it in class? Well, points for correct answers, participation, or speed. Points for speed, like I mentioned, that's something from Quizizz, for example. Badges, like something to recognize. Well, it shows who's the best in the group. And like I mentioned, students, they normally have this instinct of competing. And with the badges, they say, oh, I have the nice badge. I used to do, when I worked with the British Council, I worked with Uruguayan students, and they were from 4th grade to 6th grade students. And before we started any game using Quizizz, I use Quizizz as like the reward. I mean, if they knew that if they were quiet, if they paid attention, if they participated during the class, the last 10 minutes, we can do quizzes about the topic we worked in class. So it was a win-win situation. They got their game that they love playing, and I got my students like giving me feedback on my teaching skills while playing. And their quizzes, they, as you know, once you enter the quizzes, it gives you like an icon, a small image, cute image. And since there is one picture that children love, it's like a penguin, a little cute penguin. And it's a lie, but I told my students, oh my God, the penguin. If you get the penguin, it means it was a huge lie, but they believed it. If you get the cute penguin, it means that automatically you get the easiest 2 questions first. So it gives you an advantage, but it's like RNG, it's like random. And they were like, oh my God, I want to get the penguin. And they got so excited when they got the penguin. And at the same time, it worked as a kickstart mechanic, like, okay, I got the penguin, so I got an advantage. The 2 easiest questions, I will have them at the beginning, and it worked. It was a lie. I never told them it was a lie, but it worked. It worked. So, challenges. With the challenge, like maybe the timer or the type of exercise, then the students will see, oh, if I could do this before, then I could do this other one. For example, with the same topic, talking about pets. Talking about pets. You can have them like the simplest exercise that I use with 4th grade kids was I show the picture of a kitty. And then I had under the kitty, like okay, what pet is it? And then I had dog, cat, a budgie, or rabbit. And they, of course, had to click on cat. That was the easiest exercise. Then I had the same picture in another game with a different question. Which one of these names is not on the picture? So now if they clicked on cat, it was wrong. So it was different. It's a different challenge. And you customize the challenge for your student, and it helped them progress. Okay. Now, Genially, let me close this for a minute because I found this video. This is a YouTube page that I recommended you guys. The YouTube page is Ditch That Textbook. Ditch That Textbook. And it's specialized in online teaching. So you will see, I think it's a 6 minutes video. Yeah, Daniela. You will see a 6 minute video where he will explain or give like a short tutorial on Genially, the things you can do with it. It's really cool. I found it. Let me stop sharing this and let me open that video. Here, 5 ways to gamify your classes. Stop. Okay. Now let me share this. I couldn't add the video to the presentation because it kept saying the video is too big. Okay. So 5 ways to gamify class featuring Genially. And please, guys, follow this YouTube channel. You cannot believe the videos that they have posted. And this is an old video. This is 2 years ago. And some of the features he shows right now, they are even better because the Genially has been updated, of course, and it's way better. So let's watch this 6-minute video, and it will show you some of the things you can do with Genially. Some of you already know. And as you know, once you start watching these videos on YouTube, look, the algorithm starts suggesting same things. So it's a win-win situation for you guys. Let's watch this video. It will show you 5 ways to gamify your class, things that you should put into practice for our evaluation. Let's take a look.
Let's face it, we all love games. From video games like Xbox and PlayStation to mobile app games to board games, and even retail rewards programs are kind of like games. So how can we bring gamification into the classroom? How can we grab some of those elements of the games that we love and incorporate them into a lesson or a unit or anything that we're doing in class? In today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can gamify a class. And I'm going to hook in a free template from Genially that you can use in class right away. I'm going to be demoing these gamification ideas on Genially. Genially is a great way to create presentations and infographics and all sorts of digital content. It's flashy, it's impressive, and it's got a ton of templates that you can use in your class right away. All of this stuff that you make with Genially is easy and it's sure to wow your students. Gamification idea number 1 is to play a guessing game with a picture. There's a reason that they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. There's lots of visual content in it and lots of little details that we can pick out and connect to our content. We can also use images to hook students in, kind of like an anticipatory set, to get them engaged in the content that they're getting ready to see. If you can find a really great image that's puzzling or provocative or just captures their attention right away, it can be a really great way to hook them in at the beginning of a lesson. So you can ask yourself, what's an image that's connected to my content that can catch students off guard or pique your students' interests that can get them into a lesson at the beginning of it? In Genially, there's this hidden image game, and you can have students drag their cursor around it to display the image, but only little bits at a time. Then they can try to figure out what the image is and where it's from. This can be a fun way to further engage them in that interesting image that you picked out for your lesson. Now for this Genially template and all the other ones that you'll see in this video, we have a tutorial that'll show you everything you need to use this template with step-by-step instructions. You can find it at ditch.link/Genially. Idea number 2 is to turn your repetitions into a game. Of course, we still know that repetitions make permanent. Students need repetitions to get that practice and to get those ideas into their long-term memory. There are all sorts of tech and no-tech ways to make those repetitions into games. For instance, in my high school Spanish classes, I had my students create flashcards, and oh my goodness, were there so many partner games and individual games that they could play with those flashcards. Of course, when it comes to getting repetitions, we've got all sorts of online games, from Kahoot to Quizizz to Quizlet Live to Gimkit and Blookit to help students get those repetitions. So you can ask yourself, what's a way that I can take those repetitions and that practice that I want my students to do and turn it into a game and make it feel a little more like a game? And of course, Genially has this great spaceship quiz template you can use. It feels a little bit like the old Space Invaders game. You can put your own content into it, and as students navigate throughout the game, they have to answer questions. It feels a little bit like an old retro video game. Idea number 3 is to play a guessing game, kind of like a 20 questions game where students have to use their deductive reasoning skills. They have to think through things and ask good questions to be able to narrow it down and guess. We've been playing these games for ages, and there are lots of card games and board games we've been playing through our entire lives that match up with this very same idea. Even a newer twist on this is this game called Pancake or Waffle. It's another one of those guessing games where students really have to think to be able to progress through the game and answer correctly. If you don't know about Pancake or Waffle, just go Google it. So you can always ask yourself, what's something that I can pull out of my content and give to my students so they have to guess their way through an answer? Genially has this really great template called Guess the Character. And the character is hidden behind these 5 clues, and you continuously reveal clues as you try to guess who the character is. It's a super easy way to plug in a little bit of a game element to something like a novel or a short story or even history. Idea number 4 is moving around manipulatives. And if you think about it, in just about every board game you've played through your entire life, there are manipulatives, little physical pieces that you move around the board. And the way you move them around the board and the way that you interact with them has a lot to do with your success in the game. So a question you can ask yourself is, what kind of manipulatives can I pull into this lesson? And then how can I make them game-like? Have students move them around in a game-like manner to bring a little bit of extra engagement into it. Genially has this great interactive flashcards template that you can use. It includes some draggables, and of course you can edit it all and put your own content into it and then give it right to your students. And idea number 5 is to borrow from one of the classics or one of the popular games that are out there. And of course, the great thing about those is that we can take a look at them and reverse engineer them and try to figure out what makes them unique, what makes them popular, what hooks people into them. And of course, if we can identify that, we can take that one little gamification piece and insert it into a lesson to make it more engaging. So you can ask yourself, what's unique? What's interesting or fascinating about this one game? And can I take that one little piece and insert it into a lesson somehow? Genially has this one template called Snakes and Ladders that's just like, you guessed it, the old board game Chutes and Ladders. And of course, everything is customizable inside of it. So the questions and the tasks and everything can be edited to match up directly to your content. And it's got little draggables and movable parts and clickable elements. It turns the whole thing interactive. So there you have it. 5 ways that you can gamify your class. And of course, if you want to get tutorials on how to use Genially,
the tutorials are there. In fact, the link is here. Here's the link to the tutorial, and this is their webpage with Genially. So Genially, like most of you used for the escape room, the different things that you can use there. So stop sharing this. Let me go back to our presentation. Okay, so let's talk about the activity that you guys will be doing. This is your task, and we have 50 minutes to talk about it, 50 minutes to discuss the ideas to get you ready, okay? So, thing is, your job is to design your own gamified English lesson, okay? Remember the steps of gamification that we have talked since last session? This is your task. It's a 30-minute online English lesson that you should design. I recommend using Genially. You can use Canva if you want to, but it has to be a gamified English lesson. Not the typical English lesson where a student has to answer the question. No. A gamified English lesson. What topic You decide. I recommend you choose a topic that you know a lot about. Let's say that you are really good with present perfect. Well, work with present perfect because it's your forte. You love working with present continuous. Yeah, free theme, Jenny. Yeah, a free theme. You love working with present continuous or how to use the future, and you have already designed a class about, well, work with that. It's a free theme, free topic, just like Jenny mentioned in the chat. Oh my God. If I get disconnected, it's because there is a huge storm here in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, a huge storm. I just heard the thunder. So it's a 30-minute online English lesson. Teacher, how do I know it's my class lasts 30 minutes? Well, check the amount of exercises, or you can even practice with a friend, with one of your students if you're working already as an English teacher. Do the class you design, do it with your student and see how much it takes to do the class. Okay? On that class, I want you to include interactive activities and at least 2 gamification elements. So I want that class to have clear learning objectives. Remember, it's not just playing. It's not just playing. Interactive activities, quizzes, games, puzzles, free creativity. And one important thing, one assessment component, like how you're going to evaluate your students' progress with that activity that you have created. Now, align the activities with the objectives. Like if your objective is for my student to understand the differences of use between will, present continuous, and going to. So the activities will help my student work with those 3 and understand the differences. A maximum or minimum? It's a maximum. Maximum 30 minutes. Maximum 30 minutes. Now, think like a learner. And this is important, guys. What would keep you engaged? What would keep you engaged? There is no minimum to it. It has to be 30 minutes or not. 30 minutes. A 30-minute English lesson. Okay? Now, keep it feasible. Remember that this class you will be teaching in an online format. Okay? It's in an online format, so you can include videos, whatever. Again, if you use Genially, you know you can do everything with that. Could be a class for teenagers or kids, free. Jackson, free. Teenagers, for example, Fabi is really good with kids. Okay, Fabi can work with a class for kids. You work better with teenagers. Okay, work with a class for teenagers. You choose. Work on what you do best. Okay, on what you know best. Okay, and please use the tools we have explored. I have talked about Kahoot, Quizizz, and Genially, but you can remember last class, I used a Bamboozle. I used WordWall. You decide, but it has to be a gamified English lesson. There is one important thing that some of you, could I use multiple platforms? Yeah, you can, Angie. Yes. As long as, I don't know how you're gonna concentrate them in one link so that I can check your work. I don't know, but you can use. It's free creativity. there is one important thing, guys, that some of you, at what level of teaching, you decide. Children, teenagers, for beginners, for advanced, you decide, Nita. I have no problem with that as long as it's a gamified English lesson. I don't care about the level. May I mix topics? Yes. But remember, 30-minute online English lesson. Can you mix topics in a 30-minute or should
Teacher,
you? Tell me.
the thing is that I have this idea to adapt to a presential class, a face-to-face class, because I have a pajama party, excuse me, with my students on Tuesday so that I can practice the class with the children, but they can't use online tools. So I mean, I'm thinking how to mix both. I mean, the face-to-face class and the online class. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean,
This is totally possible. What is
no. I'm so sorry. Because Beji was asking in the chat, what does feasible mean in this context? So it's like basically possible. Like you cannot, for example, when I say keep it feasible, it's like if you know that there is a tool that students can only use if they pay, that's not possible. So don't use it. If you can only use it if you pay, or you can only use it if you install this and then you install, it's a lot of work. That's not feasible. That's not feasible. Me mixing 4 contents in 4 hours. Yeah, I mean, you can mix them as long as you understand it's a 30-minute online English lesson. 30-minute tops. There's no minimum. It has to be 30 minutes. Imagine that you are hired to teach English, and that's what you have to do, a 30-minute lesson. That's
Teacher,
it. Tell me,
Hina. It's going to be a video? I didn't get that part.
No. Don't worry. Just like you guys did for the escape room, that you send me the link on Genially, and then I am supposed to be the student, and then I check that class. So that's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do.
Okay, got it.
Let me show you this because it's important. It's one thing that a lot of you ignored during our last evaluation. The assessment criteria. What am I? Let me make it bigger. These are the criteria for the evaluation. And I say that some of you ignored because, for example, some of you for the digital toolbox, most of you forgot to include the personal reflection. You forgot to include the personal reflection. What I mean, I hear my cat crying. Marley? Ah, here she is. My cat, because my uncles aren't here, and my cat thought she was alone and she was crying. She's here. Aha. So this is what I'm looking for in the activity. So alignment with learning objectives, so that your class.
What is the meaning of alignment?
That it goes on the same line, that
like
they follow.
Parallelism,
Yes, exactly. That it follow the same criteria. That the activities, if your topic, again, your topic is to work with uses of the future, but then your activities only work with will. Is not aligned with your objectives. If your objective is for students to learn how to use the future, will is not the only thing you use with the future. You use present continuous, you use going to, and sometimes you can use simple present to talk about the future. That is a super science thing that I can talk about later. effective use of gamification elements. I want you guys to, use the resources you have effectively. Remember, if you found this amazing web page, for example, there was one of you on the toolbox, you share this. I think the name is English Dojo. I had never seen it, but it was so amazing. Well, if you want to work with that, do it. If you know that one of those pages are really premium and it only works as with a trial period that you can use it only for 7 days, okay, if it's only for one class, you can do it, no problem, okay? But the elements inside the activity, they must be used effectively. Like the games must be logical, of course. Blackpink in your retro class. Okay. Creativity and student engagement. This is the part where I want to let you guys be free. Whatever you want to do. Nita loves Blackpink. She wants to have the members of Blackpink teaching different things. Okay, she can do it, no problem. Sophie had this crazy narrative where it was her and Lasso supposed to be teaching something, but then Lasso said something and they got angry and she kicked Lasso out of it. But now Sophie wants to bring back Lasso. That's it. That Benji wants to have one of a Korean singer she wants me to listen to teaching the class. No problem. Benji can do it. That Jackson wants to have this 2-meter tall German guys that she loves teaching it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? Be creative because that will engage your students. If you know that your students, especially if it's a particular class, if you know that your student loves Korean dramas, okay, you can design a class that includes the most renowned Korean actors and actresses. If you know that your student loves cartoons, have the class go around the cartoon characters, teaching the different parts. Do it. You can do that with all the things, all the tools we have online. Be creative. That will engage your student. And the feasibility, again, for virtual teaching. There are some activities that are better to do in a classroom, but now I want you to focus on virtual teaching only. Virtual teaching only. So remember this. These are the criteria. This is what I will be evaluating. Okay? Whether you win or lose points, it depends on you following this assessment criteria. Now, let's talk about the activities. This is the time for your questions, final thoughts and tips. Share ideas with your friends. Jackson, tell me.
I was gonna ask if do we have to put reflection, because I didn't put it in last assessment.
No. This time, look. This time, it's not here. It's not here.
Oh, okay.
So don't worry. But the previous time, it clearly said personal reflection.
But
it
teacher, it's not fair. I asked you for permission. It's not fair.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Final
Tell me.
Do I have to put that in the presentation?
No. This is just for us
Because I
to
wanna
talk
add
about.
it. I was gonna add it.
No. This is for us to talk. I mean, final thought and tips. This is
Okay.
this part. Final thoughts. Don't worry. Do we have to show our face? No, you don't need to. I mean, there is a future activity in this subject where you will have to record a video in a class using something. But this is not that class. This is not that class, okay? So don't worry about it. Questions, guys. I don't want you to leave this session with questions. La polizia. Let me unshare so that we can talk. Okay. Questions. I want questions. Doubts. Teacher, can I do this? Can I do that? What do you recommend? Ask me, because I know you're extremely anxious. By the way, remember, you need to send the activity until you have the chance until next Saturday, sorry.
Teacher, are we free like to a challenge? Let's say that it's a song and it's on a past tense, and they have to do the activity according to that song. Can we include that? Can we just do what we fit best for the activity?
Yes.
As long as it's 30 minutes, of course.
Yes, it's your creativity. But if you include a song, remember, a song is at least 3 minutes. 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So it takes some time from your lesson.
Okay.
Me pregunto cuando estoy trabajando. I know you guys get questions when you are actually doing the thing. So you tell me, guys. Jackson, tell me.
Teacher, I have this brainstorm based on my class for the pajama party. In this pajama party, I want to talk about the planets. It's not like an official topic in the book that I have to follow in my job, but like the kids were so interesting in the planets and the solar system, I saw a chance to make them feel like more interesting in learning English. So I will talk about the solar system. I was thinking about here in a brainstorm that I could talk 15 minutes to make an activity or some game online and face to face about planets. In this way, they could learn the vocabulary, the name of each planet, and they could learn the vocabulary. I mean, the star, the galaxy, some basic words about this. And other 15 minutes so that we could review the colors, because we have like 5 months, but they just are kids. So it is complicated to memorize the colors. So I would take advantage of this activity. Could I?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And for the rest, let me give you like a structure. You can focus like, okay, the first 5 or 10 minutes of a lesson could be focusing on presenting the vocabulary, for example. Presenting the vocabulary. Then the rest of the time in the lesson could be playing with what they have learned. For example, I want to work with the names of pets for 2nd grade students, 3rd grade students. So it has to be really like basic vocabulary, because I work with those kids and they work with repetition. Okay, so the question will be, what's the name of this pet? And you teach them that what's the name of this pet means cuál es el nombre de esta mascota. Or an easier version, what pet is this? Shorter, what pet is this? Only 4 words. And then you have the photo of a kitty, and then the 4 of the names that you taught in the first minutes of a class. There you go. Same thing with the planets. You start with the vocabulary, characteristics of the planets. Now Uranus is so far and it's so cold, whatever. you work with those, that it was a planet, then Jupiter, which is like the biggest one. It is the biggest planet. And then you have Earth, Mars, Jupiter, and then they have to choose. Maria Daniela?
Wouldn't be that complicated. Like the bigger, well, they don't know much about it.
No. I mean, just giving an idea. Just giving an idea.
Okay,
Depending
sure,
on
okay.
what you're working with. Maria Daniela?
It's like creating a class and then adding to
Asian.
gamification activities to it.
Yep. That's it. The class must be a gamified lesson. It's only 30 minutes. So the gamifying elements must be like in the center. Okay? In the center. That's it.
Teacher, for the face-to-face class, may I do like, the avioncito game, but transforming, like making a rocket, maybe drawing a rocket with, how do you say, tiza?
Chalk.
Chalk, with chalk. And then I could make like a competition where they would have to guess the planets. And I don't know, they could run because that's what they most like to do. They love to running and be competitive.
You put like they have to run towards the board and to write the name of a planet.
No.
That's amazing.
No, like a mega match, they would have to run, pick the thing that allows them to answer the question.
Yeah. That's a gamified lesson. Salvador asked, do you think making some kind of like who wants to be a millionaire activity from a certain amazing idea? And I think WordWall has that feature, Salvador. And it's really easy to do with WordWall. You just select, WordWall gives you the chance to include pictures. That's a good idea. Yeah. It's like creating a class and adding two gamified activities. Yeah. It's a class, 30-minute, and at least two gamified activities. At least. The whole class is going to be like a game. It's so that the students are playing, but at the same time, they are learning. The level is free. The topic is free. But please remember, try to keep one topic. I know there's a temptation to teach different topics in one class, but it's 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Sometimes you might send me the class and then I see the games and I will say, hey, this is not for 30 minutes. This is for more. Or this is even for less. So that's why I'm here, and I reserve this last part of the class for you guys to ask questions. Whether it's on the chat or with the microphone on. You can also, like Jaxelia has been talking, comment the ideas that you have. Salvador already has an idea. Who else has like an idea of what you could create? Comment the idea so that I can help guide you. Comment the idea, what you think you're going to do, or what you think you want to do. Comment the idea on the chat so that I can help you. Or any doubts that you may have. No questions? Or you're afraid to ask the questions? Because I know I will disconnect and then you will be asking questions privately. Like, dude, that was to ask with the whole group connected. Oh, my bottle. I just know what I'm going to teach. Cardinal and ordinal numbers with their uses. Awesome. And they're really similar. Just remember, it must be a game. Did it really break?
Teacher,
Uh-huh.
I have a question that is something that is not clear for me.
Mhm.
When you tell me that I could take 10 minutes for presenting the topic, I could do it in the assessment or in the, well, I could do it in both
In
both
the lesson.
content.
I mean, the presenting of the content can also be included in a gamified activity. You can, and
Okay.
that's what you should do. Present the content of the lesson in a game. That can be done,
Okay.
and that should be done for this activity. That should be done for
Mhm.
this activity.
Mhm.
Okay?
Okay. Okay, there's some activities that I have here that could work. Do you know this game that where well, it is an app that they show you like 4 pictures and you had to put a word that they had like in common. Don't you ever play? Haven't you ever played this game?
That you have to write. Do you have to write what?
You have to guess the
Mhm.
word that these 4 pictures has in common.
Mhm. Mhm. That, for
That is
example,
something.
a game like that can be
Mhm.
used to work with adjectives, for example. You
Yes.
show 4 people, and then one of them is a doctor, the other one is a fireman, the other one is a nurse, and the other one is a teacher.
Yes.
And you work with adjectives like tall, fat, thin, young, old. And then you show those 4 people, and then, okay, what do they have in common? And then you have the adjectives below. They are young, they are thin, they are fat, they are old. And they
Mhm.
can select the sentence that answers the question. And it's a game because you show the pictures and you can use this GIFs images, and then they see it's more like engaging. They see the pictures moving, or that's better. It's a game, but at the same time you're teaching.
Mhm.
Now,
Okay.
any of the others? You are strangely too quiet today. Too quiet today. Are you guys okay?
We don't know what we're going to do, so we don't know what to ask.
I was very strange that Suhaimi was not
Your
asking
interviewer
something.
is going to ask you a lot of questions.
It has to be like.
Definitely not okay, says Kami. Oh my God. Guys, you're scaring me. This is, I believe, the first time you're so quiet when you are like piranhas. What the hell is wrong with you? Are you the same students I normally have? I have a question. Okay, Suhe, go. But are you gonna write it?
Well, I already find the perfect game for the numbers in Wordle.
Tendemos tarea para la otra. No, 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 no. Don't worry. Don't worry. The evaluation is gonna be only for this subject. The other subject, next week, you will have the evaluation. So they won't match. They don't match. So don't worry. Brain cells are trying to figure out actually. Let me send a sticker that I know. It's you guys thinking about what to do. This is you guys. Look at the, where is here? Yeah. I'm going to send the sticker to the group. This is you guys. When I ask, please ask me. This is you guys. Look at the WhatsApp group. That is you. That little doggy, absolutely confused, is you guys right now. Yeah, brain.x not function. Oh my God. Oh gosh. Okay, but Daniela, go.
Um, uh, I'm confused, like always. But I wanna know if we need to create the slides and
You're
when
going
we
to log into Genially. Let me go quickly. Let me go quickly
Teacher,
into Genially.
okay.
I remember, can you explain us how to use Kahoot after you explain Genially?
Wait, let me give me a second. Genially.com.
Mi pregunta es,
Ujú,
hacemos los slides como si fuéramos a
ujú.
hacer la clase y en cada actividad le ponemos el link de la
No, 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 no,
de la
no.
actividad gamificada.
No. Give me a second that I'm accessing Genially. Come on.
Okay.
María, es que tú creas la actividad gamificada, o sea, tú creas el juego y lo añades a la lección, a la lección, a la lección, a la lección. Perdón, ay Dios, no. Dios mío, santo todo. Gracias, Toby, me encanta tu aporte.
Oh my God. Okay. So you access Genially and then you choose whatever template you want to use. You have tons. You have juegos y escape game. So you maybe this category is amazing. Of course, these ones, they are premium. You cannot play with them. But there are some others who are not premium. And you can choose from. Let me choose Breakout Aventura. I don't know, whatever. This one.
Pero eso es un poquito trampa. It's a kind of trap because a escape room it's already a gamifying
Guys,
lesson.
that's why I asked you to design a escape room so that you already know how to use Genially. And now you're just going to adapt it to a 30-minute class. That's why. So you choose this one. Okay, I'm going to use that one. Going to use a template. And whenever my computer allows me to, here you start customizing this with whatever, and you know you can click, you can change the pictures because I don't like this lady. Well, the out of here, and I choose another one. I change the narration. You customize this. There's another one. I don't like this one. I want to choose another cartoon character, so I eliminate it and then I add. It's not that complicated, guys. And you have already used Genially. Let me go to Kahoot. Okay. Sign up for free because I think I'm not signed up in this computer. Professor. Oh my God. Superior. No, Google. Yeah.
I have a question. Well, I'm
Teacher.
gonna wait for
Tell
you to
me.
finish here and then I'll ask a question.
Don't worry, go. Ask Fernando.
All right. So my question is, how would you say you could gamify a lesson about, I'm thinking either the conditionals or nominalization, like one of those two. So like, could you give me ideas, please? And thank you.
To gamify any content, you mean?
Yeah, any of those two. So like I'm thinking about conditionals or nominalization, one of the two.
Oh, okay, let's go with conditionals.
All right.
So, let me see here. Explora los modos de juegos. Let me see what games do they have. ¿Verdad? De TikTok meme estaba paralizado con mucho miedo y no me
If you
podía
allowed
mover.
me to participate, I know it's in bad, but I could have an idea to Fernando. Also, the game that the teacher Carlos used in last class about what it's going to happen. You could change it or what if? I mean, it is going to happen this, but what if it would happen this? I don't know. Maybe?
Okay. Okay. I'm taking notes, taking notes.
I like this one. Trabaja en equipo para difundir los colores de torneos por todo el territorio. Responde para ganar.
Oh my God.
I like this one. I like this one. And you see, por tiempo limitado. So it doesn't matter because it's only one activity you're going to design. So you can use this one and no problem. Okay. I like this. Wait, no. Go back.
Teacher, how can I
Tell me.
extend a 30 minutes class
Mhm.
to a 2 hours class? Because
With
in
more
my job.
activities. With more activities.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
For example, Fernando, this one,
Yep.
the more conditionals that they, for example, you have the, conditionals. Let's say you work with conditional 1 and 2, or only conditional 1 because it's 30 minutes. Conditional 1, conditional 1 is simple present and future. Well, you have them complete the sentences with the correct form of the verb. If they complete it correctly, then they start gaining territory. And it's like a competition between two teams.
All right.
Teach with the 7 moments. I hate that those 6 moments. Like, dude, that is
I hate
obsolete. That's absolutely obsolete. When we have this, and like it says, por tiempo limitado, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's only for this activity. You design the class and that's it. That's all I want. And look, there are so many others that I haven't checked. This one, like working in teams. Team Unicorn, Team Dragon. This is cool. They answer questions, and the more they answer, they start building the floors. This could be the same, Fernando. So they complete, if they complete the sentence with the correct form of a verb, then they have another floor, another floor, another floor. And
That's
the
a
one who finishes
gamified
first.
lesson.
Yes, it's a gamified lesson. It's a gamified lesson.
The job is done.
Unfortunately, at work, I can't use my phone and there is no internet. Yeah. But don't worry. Let's pretend that you work for a place where you can use internet with no problem. There are already 3 of us. I hate that too. Yeah, the 7 moments are. Do you pay for Kahoot? No. You see, it says tiempo limitado. I don't pay for it. I don't pay for. I wish I had the money to, but no, I don't. Word Wall already has some of the games already done. Word Wall already has the games. Let's say I want a game about let me give you when you enter Word Wall and you want to look for an activity, it says se requiere suscripción. But you can bypass that block. You go to Google, and let's say Fernando wants to use an activity about conditional first, and he wants to find a game in Word Wall. So on Google, it gives you the link, so you don't need to use this.
Oh, okay.
And the games are already designed. Look, match the sentences. First conditional. First conditional. What will happen if you don't eat? Let me see. Let me check this quickly. I haven't seen this. I'm just showing you. What will happen if you forget something cooking in the oven? And then student has to answer, I guess, right? Yes, and student have to talk. This is for the students to answer. You choose, and the student answers in first conditional. And I don't know how many it has. This is one way to play. This one is completing. And I guess student needs to write. As soon as I finish school, what the hell? What? You ask the student answers. If he did it correctly, you click here. If he did it, let's say, let me do it incorrectly. If a student says, I want going to class until I'm 18 years old. Oh, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. There, that's how this is played. So you see, that's how you bypass the word wall block. So on the chat, you're writing, don't worry, I don't have money, I'm broke. Don't say that, you just share the money. I wish I had the money to pay for that. And that would be amazing. I wish I had the money to pay for that. Okay. Yeah, 7-moment thing is the internships. Let me stop recording so that we can speak freely without having problems. Let me stop recording. The class had basically finished.